out of Chillicothe, Missouri. That 2010 Mustang, the Ace Rating Clutches DJ Safety Ford Racing sponsored car. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Cale Aronson. Over on the far side, this is our U.S. Bounty Hunters Pro Stock qualifying session number 1 coming out, and I tell you what, the atmospheric conditions are beautiful here tonight. The track has been hooking great, at least for the sportsman guys. So we are looking for some good runs here. We'll see what the first pair are going to lay down. Oh, deep stage. Oh no, one of the cameraman. I thought, wow, they're going to deep stage a pro stock. No, they're not. The cameraman being pulled back out of the way. That works a little bit better. Crew chief says everything's good. Crosses and backs out. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, U.S. Bounty Hunters Pro Stock, round number 1. Throws the laundry early. 6:55 and a 6:37. 221. Aronson gonna lay down a big number here in the first section. Well, looks like a single here. This is Matt Birch. All right, out of Tecumseh, Michigan. 828 cubic inch mountain motor, 07 Mustang. 43-year-old driver making a single here. We know we're going to have a full field 8 cars, but my last count, I think we were 10, 12 pro stocks on the grounds here. So the U.S. Bounty Hunters Pro Stock class definitely growing. We will qualify the field. They're going to have to actually run. They're going to have to actually qualify. No Golden Green, Chris Garabasini, make one lap and sit back. You're going to have to run them all if you're going to get into the show tomorrow night. So all right, here comes Birch now. Being held. Resetting the wheelie bars, making sure that they hit right, give you all the traction that you need. You don't want too much or above, you don't want too little, or that front end will come off the ground. So here we go, Matt making his first lap here in the U.S. Bounty Hunters Pro Stock class. We've got some numbers going on here tonight. Well, he's made it back up in the tower. Caught his breath, ladies and gentlemen. Going to turn the mic over to Mr. Bill Stevens.
Thank you very much, Taz. All right, Cale Aronson still on top of that 637 at 221 we saw just a little while ago. 639, the one that Matt Birch just put up, good enough for number 2 right now. So there are your number 1 and number 2 drivers in the U.S. Bounty Hunter Mountain Motor Pro Stock, the class that goes back so far in IHRA history. And here it is once again. And here are a couple of real big hitters making their first qualifying pass of the weekend. It is the family patriarch, Dean Goforth, out of Holdenville, Oklahoma, over there in the Budweiser lane and the Dean Casing Service. Chevy Camaro over on the tower side, John Konithofer. And let me tell you something, folks. If you don't think that there's not a brand rivalry deal going on in Mountain Motor Pro Stock, you are mistaken. These Chevy guys and these Ford guys do not like to come up short to each other, even in qualifying. Koenigshofer in the Ford out of Otterville, Canada, the only Ford on the property running fuel injection. It is the common thing. Some GM guys are running it, but no carburetors on that Ford. And Dean Goforth, as we know, with his son Kerry, that team, the reigning IHRA Nitro Jam Mountain Motor Pro Stock champions, and Dean, the dad, would like to show Sonny Boy how it's done. Kerry will get a shot at this in just a little while. So it's Ford, Nelson Competition Lane, Chevy, Budweiser Lane. First crack at the racetrack. Very deliberate staging procedure going on over there with Goforth, making sure everything is according to Hoyle as he will bump in. And let's see what they've got. Red lights don't mean anything in qualifying, but not being able to make a full pull does mean something. Both drivers launched their cars, but they shook, rattled, and rolled, and they will roll across the finish line and pretty much not have much to show for their first qualifying pass.
I'll tell you, you look down there, you can see right off the launch where the tires rattle. So they've overpowered the track here just a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I call stutter steps. If you look at what's happening just on the other side of the starting line, you do see kind of like that checkerboard pattern being put down by the tires. So those two cars never had a chance, just never hooked up. So that's usually something in the bell housing, something with the clutch that needs to be tampered with. So your top four right now, Cale Aronson, up top with his 637, Matt Birch, 639 number 2, John Puccino with his 655 and 171. You got to believe that was not the run that they wanted. Some 0.2 of a second off the pace, and John Koenigshofer, he's fourth at 1981. And Dean Goforth, we do not have a time on him, so he will have to come back into the next session and put up some kind of a number before we close things out tonight. All right, representing Aruba.com, Trevor Eamon, over on the power side of Nelson Competition Lane. And we talk a lot about history in the IHRA, and you're looking at history right now in the right lane. John Montecalvo, out of the Empire State of New York, has been at this pro stock thing for a long time. And he is a good one. Montecalvo, red, white, and blue Camaro. Got some good help over there. I just ran into my old friend Tommy Lee, one of the real great setup men in pro stock racing. Of course, a former driver who raced in IHRA Pro Stock a number of years ago. And now he's helping with the setup on John Montecalvo's car. Trevor Eamon and his dad, Ben, flying the colors of Aruba.com over here in their Mustang.
How many drivers can say they're sponsored by a country?
Yeah, not many. And, well, there's one right there in the left lane. And young Trevor Eamon, 28 years old, has been drag racing since he was a teenager. He's just a kid. How could you send him up in a crate like that? Old movie reference there. Trevor, a very talented driver. He knows the ropes. And he's got to be looking for something in the 630s right now and give something for those guys up at the top of the list right now to think about. See them slowly getting the car right. A lot going on at the starting line when these U.S. Bounty Hunter Mountain Motor Pro Stocks come up there. Crew members like worker bees, checking this, checking that, wheelie bar height, making sure the driver's comfy and cozy and ready to get his job done. So it's Eamon and Montecalvo. First qualifying pass for both drivers. Wow. to the new number 1 spot. You see the numbers up on the top, 630, 223 miles an hour, and he was motoring. Might I tell you that the top speed record in this category is 226.70 miles an hour. So Montecalvo didn't go that quick, but tell you what, he's not far behind. 630, 223. Trevor Eamon, he goes 11:13 at 89, but you might have noticed he brought the car up on the chip just as the tree was about to go green, and it sounded like the reds came down, and when he jumped into it again, the car kind of stuttered off the starting line, and that cost him big elapsed time. So Montecalvo, he's your new number 1 qualifier. And here comes our next pair. Okay. Well, let's see who we have here. We have a couple of runners-up. It's the runners-up club. John DeFlorian, right lane, and that Camaro was the runner-up in the first race of the year to Kerry Goforth. J.R. Carr came back in Baton Rouge and came up short to Kevin Bialko in that final round. So you know what's on these guys' minds right now? You know, number 2 isn't why they drag race. They want to be number 1. And it all begins right here with their first qualifying pass. DeFlorian, out of that notorious Black Diamond Racing operation with Kevin Bialko, the winner in Baton Rouge. J.R. Carr, guy who's been out here a while. We've seen him in IHRA. Now he's over here with IHRA. Brand new race car. Fresh race car at that. Beautiful. White. J.R. Carr Racing. Mountain Motor Pro Stock, left side. So they've seen the numbers so far. 630 out of the right lane by Montecalvo. Florian now in that right lane, and he's thinking, well, maybe there's a 630 or better waiting for me out there. J.R. Carr, veteran racer, and came that close to picking up that victory in Baton Rouge a couple weeks ago. Here we go. Meanwhile, J.R. Carr, 638 at 211 miles an hour. DeFlorian, he threw in the towel, coast across with a 1080 at 89 miles an hour. So, here is the way things stand now. Montecalvo still number 1, Aronson number 2, and J.R. Carr now sitting number 3 with a 638 at 211. And pretty good ET, but down on speed. 211, about 10 slower than number 2 qualifier right now, Aronson. DeFlorian will take over the 6th spot right now with a shut-off 1080 at 89 miles an hour. So, we've had 8 cars down. We've had 5 full pulls, and we've got 3 drivers that are looking forward to something better in the next session. All right, here come a couple of muscle men right now as we bring our 2 winners from our 2 previous national events to the starting line. Budweiser lane, Kerry Goforth. Nelson competition lane, that's Kevin Bialko out of Bridgeport, West Virginia. And the Goforth clan making the tow out from Holdenville, Oklahoma. Kerry Goforth, what a year he had last year. He's your reigning IHRA U.S. Bounty Hunter Mountain Motor Pro Stock Champion. He is the reigning PDRA Pro Stock Champion. Last year, last weekend of the year, he locked up 2 Pro Stock Championships the same weekend in 2 different sanctioning bodies. He now has 5 Pro Stock Championships under his belt. How many people can say that? Kevin Bialko, and that beautifully turned out late model Chevy Camaro, number 3 in points last year, and he gladly swapped the number 3 on his car for the number 1 over there on the Goforth Camaro. So will we see a new #1 qualifier right here, right now, right in front of God and everyone? It could happen. Some good numbers coming out of the right lane, although we just saw a driver that could not get down that right lane.
You know, I think I've noticed the cars that go down there, they're getting wheel speed. Comes back, always important to get wheel speed up, off the watch, things to the ground, you're good. Aren't just the wheel speed they need.
That's exactly right. When a Pro Stock's making a good run, those tires are barely making traction. They're skating along the racetrack. Whoa! In the Mulligan column, Kevin Bialko and Kerry Goforth couldn't make it happen that time. As you saw, Kevin Bialko got way out of shape. That car made a hard move right off the line. Kerry Goforth, from what I could see, looked like he ran into some serious tire shape. So, we see the #1 and